Did you know the future is being built right now, and it's coming from a place you might not expect? Forget Silicon Valley for a moment. The world's biggest robotics event, the World Robot Conference 2025, just wrapped up in Beijing, and what we saw there was just another tech showcase. It was a full-blown preview of a new age of human-machine evolution. From humanoid robots with eerily realistic facial expressions to surgical bots that can operate from thousands of miles away, this event proved that China isn't just chasing innovation anymore, it's leading it. And if you think these are just fancy toys for factory floors, you're missing the big picture. What was unveiled could fundamentally change how we live, heal, and build within the next decade. Let's start with the scale of it all. The 2025 World Robot Conference wasn't some small trade fair. We're talking about a global stage with over 600 companies showing off 800 different robot models. But the numbers don't tell the whole story. What made this year truly different was the sheer ambition. The message from China was loud and clear. Robotics isn't a niche tech field anymore. It's the next pillar of national power. As one keynote speaker put it, artificial intelligence gave us smarter software. Robotics will give us a smarter world. That's not just marketing fluff. It's a strategic blueprint. One of the most jaw-dropping parts of the exhibition was the Humanoid Robot Pavilion. For years, we've seen bots that could kind of walk or wave awkwardly. This time, something felt completely different. These robots weren't just mimicking humans. They were becoming human-like. Take the Unitary H1, for example. It didn't just walk. It ran, jumped, and even performed parkour moves with a level of balance that stunned everyone in the audience. But the real game-changer was its learning ability. Using advanced reinforcement learning, the H1 doesn't need to be programmed for every single action. It learns from experience. Every stumble, every adjustment makes it smarter. That's not a preset animation. That's evolution happening in real time. And came the emotional shocker. Robots with facial expressions so realistic they blurred the line between machine and person. One model, a humanoid receptionist, didn't just offer a mechanical smile. She reacted dynamically to human interaction, adjusting her tone, blinking, and making subtle facial gestures based on the person she was talking to. It wasn't creepy. It was captivating. These expressions are AI-driven, responding in real time to what's happening around them. This is the first step toward robots that can interact with us socially in a natural way. Imagine that in hospitals, schools, or care homes, where emotional intelligence is part of the machine's design. But China's robotic ambitions go far beyond hospitality. The medical technology section at WRC 2025 was nothing short of revolutionary. Here, the focus wasn't on flashy designs, but on life-saving precision. 8. Surgical robots demonstrated operations so fine they could stitch blood vessels thinner than a human hair. In one live demonstration, a surgeon in Shanghai operated on a patient simulator in Beijing using a robotic arm connected through 5G. The delay? Less than 1/100th of a second. That's practically it proved that the dream of a fully remote surgical system, one that could save lives in disaster areas or remote locations, isn't a fantasy anymore. And that 5G network? It's the secret fuel powering this entire revolution. It's what allows for that near-instant communication, making robots faster, safer, and more precise. Now let's talk about the robots that can actually think. One of the hottest topics was the integration of large language models, AI brains similar to the ones powering ChatGPT, directly into physical robots. Imagine a robot that can not only see and move, but also understand context, make its own decisions, and even explain its actions. That's exactly what companies like Fourier Intelligence and UbTech are doing. Their prototypes can process real-time data and interpret complex commands. For example, you could tell one of these robots, organize the tools by size, and then clean the workspace. It doesn't need a step-by-step routine. It analyzes the situation, figures out the best way to do it, and gets to work autonomously. That's not programming. That's intelligence. And this isn't just happening in labs. China's Robot Plus strategy is pushing robotics into every industry imaginable: manufacturing, logistics, healthcare, and even agriculture. The government's goal is to have one of the highest densities of robots per worker in the world by 2026. The idea is simple. If robots handle the repetitive, dangerous, or high-precision jobs, humans are freed up to focus on creativity and innovation. One of the most fascinating areas was the biorobotics zone, where engineering meets biology. We saw robotic fish that swim just like real ones, robotic dogs herding livestock, and even insect-sized drones that fly like bees. These might look like cool gadgets, but they have serious applications, from monitoring our environment to searching for survivors in disaster zones. And of course, there was a sports arena. For the first time, humanoid robots competed in soccer, running, and even martial arts simulations. The crowd favorite was a basketball-playing robot that sank 21 free throws in a row. It was a powerful demonstration of real-time perception, motion prediction, and balance. You could literally feel the future of entertainment unfolding. But here's where it gets really interesting: the convergence of AI, robotics, and emotion. Researchers are developing empathetic intelligence, machines that can read human emotions through micro-expressions and body language, and then respond appropriately. Imagine a teaching robot that knows when a student is getting frustrated and changes its approach. Or a care robot that can tell when an elderly person is lonely and starts a conversation. These aren't sci-fi concepts anymore. They're working prototypes. Of course, this rapid progress raises big questions about job displacement, surveillance, and ethics. What happens when humanoid robots are integrated into military systems? These are real concerns, and many experts at the conference called for global guidelines to ensure technology doesn't outpace regulation. Still, what's undeniable is that China is sending a clear message to the world. Robotics is the next global industry race, and they plan to win it. Western tech giants like Boston Dynamics and Tesla are watching closely because the competition is no longer theoretical. Chinese companies are now producing robots that match, and in some cases, exceed the performance of their Western counterparts, often at a lower cost. One of the biggest headlines was the unveiling of the world's first open-source humanoid robot platform. Think of it as the Android of robotics, a framework that allows developers everywhere to design and test systems using shared standards. This could spark a massive wave of global innovation, making robotics more accessible for everyone. As the conference concluded, one takeaway was crystal clear. This revolution isn't just about replacing human labor. It's about expanding human potential. The robots showcased in Beijing weren't built to dominate us. They were built to assist, enhance, and empower us. Whether it's helping a surgeon, a construction worker, or a child learning to read, these machines represent a future where technology and humanity can finally learn to work together. Ultimately, robotics isn't just about hardware. It's about vision. It's about what kind of world we want to build. The World Robot Conference 2025 might just be remembered as the moment humanity took its next big step. Thanks so much for watching. What do you think about this robotic future? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this glimpse into tomorrow, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you don't miss our next video. See you next time.